This movie, especially after watching this movie, yeah, throw this whole thing away. And welcome to my safe haven. You guys are here for another review on the Black Gay Comic Geek channel. Today we will be doing a non-spoiler review for James Gunn's The Suicide Squad. So are you guys excited about this movie? Did you like the first Suicide Squad movie? Because there were some people that enjoyed that first movie. Who knows? Are you just done with DC in general? What are your thoughts of the DCEU? And what did you think about the trailer for this movie? Let me know in the comment section below. Again, get the conversation going. Like, comment, interact. For the algorithm, I would like to thank IMAX and IMAX Partner for allowing me the opportunity to see The Suicide Squad on Monday the 26th. I actually got to meet Fantastic Frankie, who you guys know that I've had on my show several times. We got to meet for the first time. Also, if you guys have seen me guest star on Elliot's show over at Movie Files, you know this guy. I also got to meet Chris at Takes Take. It's like, I can't say that. Takes, whatever. Chris. And that guy's, like, he gives me a complex. He's like tall as hell. Like, bro, you play basketball? I think he might be a Skrull, because he's too tall to be human. And I also was able to meet Tessa from Mama's Geeky. It was a fun time. I had an enjoyable night. Now, with that said, guys, if you already know, that means I got a screener, so you already know I'm about to shill for Warner Brothers and The Suicide Squad. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just check out my last video that I did a rant about. And really quick, I have to address something from that video really quickly, because I had a lot of people saying, oh, I shouldn't have made a comment, I shouldn't have addressed it, I should just ignore this person and keep moving on. And I do understand that, especially as a person that's growing, hopefully growing in this YouTube space. I know I'm gonna get a lot of hater comments. Hell, on a good portion of my videos, I get at least a couple thumbs down. So yeah, at the end of the day, there's gonna be some haters on my video, and I can't respond to every single one of them. And generally I don't. Like, I've gotten plenty of homophobic and racist comments throughout my time on YouTube. However, the reason that comment rubbed me the wrong way and why I was so triggered by it is because me putting myself on camera right now, recording, editing, going live to talk about WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier, Loki, etc., or just doing a live Q&A, like, I'm doing this for fun. Like, I'm not getting paid. Like, yes, I get paid from YouTube ads, thanks to you guys for watching and riding with my video. And I get paid for how many people watch my videos and how long they watch my videos, but it's not enough to pay my bills. Like, I talk about it all the time. I have a full-time job. I work overnights at a hotel, 11 p.m. to 7:30 a.m. So sometimes, a lot of times, me recording and editing and doing these videos, I end up doing it sometimes to the detriment of getting sleep. And I'm at work dirt tired, but I do this for fun. I enjoy doing this, so I'll sacrifice not getting any sleep to put out a video and go live with you guys and have a conversation, because again, this is something I enjoy doing for fun, and I'd rather be doing this than going to work. Honestly, hell, I work tonight and I'm not going to be able to get any sleep, because from putting out the Snake Eyes video earlier today, I had a doctor's appointment today also, and then got to finish recording and editing this review. Like, yeah, I'm not going to even get any sleep tonight when I go to work. This is not a job for me. It's more or less a hobby. And so for that person to say what they said, like, oh, you're shilling, this is a fake review, I know not to trust you because you got an early screener. It's like, it was like the audacity of this, like, so to say I'm shilling for Netflix, Marvel, Disney, Warner Brothers, etc., like, yeah, that shit pissed me off. But anyway, that's not what you guys came here for. Let's talk about the Suicide Squad. The government sends the most dangerous supervillains in the world, Bloodsport, Peacemaker, King Shark, Harley Quinn, and others, to the remote enemy-infused island of Corto Maltese. Armed with high-tech weapons, they trek through the dangerous jungle on a search and destroy mission with only Colonel Rick Flag on the ground to make them behave. And yeah, I loved this movie. It's the best DC movie ever? Maybe. It depends on your perspective, because there are a lot of people that absolutely loved Man of Steel. I thought Man of Steel was okay, but this movie is definitely up there. If you couldn't tell from my intro, like, especially after the first Suicide Squad movie, I hated the first Suicide Squad movie. And the thing about that movie is, really, I didn't even really feel like it was a Suicide Squad movie. It was a Deadshot and Harley Quinn movie. But this movie, if you don't know from Guardians of the Galaxy, James Gunn does a very great job at ensemble pieces and ensemble movies. And so I feel like no character in this movie got fully overshadowed. And this is a Suicide Squad movie, so based on the title, there is a lot of death. And if you couldn't tell from the trailer, this movie is very rated R. So I should have worn my blood, sex, gore, and magic shirt, because even though there wasn't really any sex, there was a whole lot of blood, there was a whole lot of gore, and this is a superhero property, so that's magic to me. So there was a whole lot of blood, gore, and magic, and I was here for all of it. And the thing about this movie that I really enjoyed is how much fun James Gunn had with this property. I feel like in the first Suicide Squad movie, they took it very seriously. It was very drab. And even though, like, you have the Enchantress doing this the whole movie, and you're just like, what is this? Are you serious with this movie? But no, James Gunn had a lot of fun with these characters. Like, look at some of the characters that he had show up in these movies. Like, you had a Weasel, if you remember from the trailer. You had the Polka Dot Man, who I've never heard of. You had Pete Davidson, who I can't remember the character that he was playing. You got Michael Rooker playing a character named Savant, another character I've never heard of. John Cena playing Peacemaker, another character I've never heard of. So he picked like the most Z-list of Z-list characters to show up in this movie. But I feel like after this movie, a lot of those characters' profiles is gonna shoot up, because I absolutely love the Polka Dot Man. And like, I would love to see like a Polka Dot Man prequel, sequel, whatever, because I absolutely enjoyed that character. Played by David Dashmalchian. I had to look up his name. But yeah, like overall, like I had so much fun with this movie. Like I totally would watch it again once it comes out in theaters for everybody else. And also a character that really drove this movie and made it exciting and made it funny to watch and made it interesting to watch was John Cena's The Peacemaker. When they first introduced or mentioned this character, and then they made the joke that he had a toilet bowl on his head, which was in the trailer, I was just like, who is this nothing of a character? And the thing about this movie, like, and it's not a spoiler to say, because Peacemaker has been announced to get his own solo series. Now, whether it's a sequel or a prequel, I'm not going to spoil, because this is a non-spoiler review. But no, we are going to get more from Peacemaker. And after this movie, I'm hell of excited, because when it was first announced that Peacemaker was getting an HBO Max show, I was like, really? You're giving me this before Static? Now granted, I'm still upset I'm not getting like a Static or a Midnighter and Apollo announced show, but I'm now more excited about Peacemaker after this movie. John Cena really does a great job in like the comedy department, like he did in Trainwreck, was the first time I saw him in a movie, and I was like, he's actually really good. And the same translates in this movie. Like, he's actually really good, not just in the comedy, but also in the drama as well. I guess you kind of have to be being a WWE superstar, because it's a lot of acting in that. And with this movie having like the most Z-list of Z-list characters, I think James Gunn did a really good job balancing all the different tones in this. Like, it wasn't just comedy and it wasn't just action, but it had some sad moments and it had some heart in this movie that made you feel for characters that you're just like, these are the most Z-list of even like Ratcatcher 2. That was a character that I'm more invested in after this movie. But also with that, like, in terms of, I gotta talk about the score. Like, you know, James Gunn loves his like 70s rock music, and so the music in this movie was great. Like, and it worked really well with the movie, and it was incredible to listen to. And also from Guardians of the Galaxy, James Gunn loves his anthropomorphized, animalistic characters, whether it's Groot and Rocket, and now you have the Weasel and King Shark. Like, after this movie, like, these two characters, Weasel and King Shark, I'm like, I need to see more from these two. I need to see a whole movie with Weasel and King Shark. And also, if you guys seen like Justice League Apocalypse War, the animated series, I'm like, now I need to see Constantine show up in this world and have him interact with King Shark. If you know, you know. King Shark is a shark, hashtag. And speaking of all characters getting their shine, like, I feel like this was Margot Robbie's best performance as Harley Quinn. Like, in this particular movie, Harley Quinn was way more unhinged, and I loved it, and I understood why she did the things that she did and acted the way she acted. And in terms of like Margot, like, you could definitely tell Margot Robbie was having a blast. Like, anytime she has to play Harley Quinn, you could tell she has a lot of fun, and that was no different in this movie. And speaking of another character that really got to shine, like, again, James Gunn gave every single character, even the nothing characters, he gave them a little bit of their moment. And it was Viola Davis's Amanda Waller. Like, I feel like Amanda Waller was way more a presence in this movie than she was in the first Suicide Squad movie. And if you know, and granted, this is not a spoiler because it was in the trailer, but the Suicide Squad are really going after Starro, and that's the villain of this entire series. But the real villain is Amanda Waller, because that woman is unhinged. And that's also why I love that character, because she does not give a fuck. And she will do whatever she needs to do to protect the world, and even if it's like killing children. And she won't even think twice about it. And like, Viola Davis's character she was scary in this movie. But yeah, there's a lot that I want to say, but obviously I can't say it because of spoilers. But I will say, like, especially with this being called The Suicide Squad, with this being a rated R movie, like, there are, again, and I said this earlier, but there are a lot of deaths. A lot of characters do die in this movie, and there's also a lot of surprising deaths. Characters that you expect to die that don't die, and characters that you expect to live that do die. And that just kept you on the edge of your seat, because you're just like, yeah, nobody feels safe. Now, with that said, the only real criticism that I have in this movie is I feel like characters from the Suicide Squad shouldn't be fighting these possibly world-ending events like Starro, or in the first movie, they were fighting the Enchantress, who was basically about to destroy, I think it was New York that they went to, destroy all of New York. I feel like those characters shouldn't be doing that. They should be fighting more clandestine, smaller scale threats. But I'm guessing this is like a movie thing, where it's like at the end of the movie, it's always got to be big and extra and giant explosions and everything like that. And I'm like, no, I feel like these characters should be fighting like a rogue government or something like that, not Starro, because the whole time Starro is like destroying a town, which again, you saw in the trailer. I'm like, where's the Justice League? And they do mention like Superman in this movie, so obviously they exist in this world, but I'm like, so you mean to tell me this thing is destroying a whole city? Nobody from the Justice League is pulling up, or they don't even mention anybody from the Justice League in this movie? Yeah, I'm not buying it. And then plus, like, most of the Suicide Squad don't have powers, so I'm like, what are they gonna do against Starro? Like, Starro is the creature that started the Justice League in the comics in the first place. Also, another criticism is there was an action scene towards the end with Harley Quinn, and I didn't necessarily like the way it was shot. It was hard to follow. Like, she would throw a punch and they would cut, and then she would kick and they would cut, and it was a lot of like small cuts throughout that action sequence. There wasn't like any like fluid, it didn't feel like a fluid action scene. It just felt very jarring, so it was hard to follow what was going on and who she was hitting and where she was throwing a punch and everything like that. I was like, it just felt very disjointed. And so I was just like, that action scene could have been better, at least for me. But that's not really it's not a big criticism, because in the way they handled it, I thought they handled it great, and it was fun, and I enjoyed every single moment of it. And yeah, I don't know what else to say about this movie. I would say the James Gunn's The Suicide Squad is a definite blockbuster. I mean, with that said though, even though I gave it a blockbuster, I still think the better Suicide Squad movie is Suicide Squad Hell to Pay, which is currently on HBO Max. It's an animated version of the Suicide Squad, so I definitely recommend checking that out if you guys haven't checked that out already. Like I said, it's on HBO Max. Definitely check it out. But in terms of like live action DC movies, I would have to think about it and in terms of where it ranks. But this would definitely probably be in the top 3. Because I'm just like, I really did like Shazam, and I really did like the first Wonder Woman. So I'm like, does this movie beat it? As of right now, I would say yeah, but that's also because of the hype from after just seeing the movie. But you know, sometimes the longer you sit with movies, you might change your opinion or change your mind, or the hype will start to wear down and you start to like really dissect and like, it doesn't sit with me after like a week or so. So I want to let that marinate a little bit more to figure out if this might be the number 1 for the DCEU for me. But anyway, enough about me rambling. Again, the question is, are you guys excited to see Suicide Squad? Are you seeing it opening weekend, or are you going to stay at home? Because I think it's going to be on HBO Max. Are you just going to sit at home and see it on HBO Max? I saw it at IMAX. I definitely recommend seeing it in IMAX. But yeah, let me know how you're going to see it, if you're excited to see it, or if you don't even care to see it, you just wanted to hear my opinion. Let me know whatever, regardless, in the comment section below. Also, if you can't hit that thumbs up button and like this video to really help out the channel, or you want to hit the thumbs down button. As I said before, it seems like every video I get at least 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever number of thumbs down. But either way, give me some engagement, hit the thumbs up, thumbs down button. It'll really help out with the YouTube algorithm and the channel, get my video out there and everything like that. And if this is one of your first time checking out one of my videos, please check out the other videos on my channel. And if you like what you see, please subscribe for more and hit that bell notification button so you're alerted every single time I post a new video. And tell your friends, families, and neighbors about my channel to help me continue to grow. And as always, I will catch you guys next time.